Hello, all you wonderful, beautiful, and craptastic people. CraptasticJack here, and today we have a very special guest with us. If you've even just heard of Need for Speed, have a passing interest in Need for Speed, you instantly know who we're talking with today. We have the one, the only Sergeant Krog.
It's Cross.
Wow. Yeah, Cross here. Overwhelmed. First thing I want to say to all of the gamer fans out there, thank you. I mean, I am humbled and I'm honored that you guys even remember me, let alone the just response that has been going on my Instagram has been just nuts. But it's appreciated. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, again, thank you for coming on. I mean, you are one of the you to a lot of people are the face of the Need for Speed franchise. You're probably the most recognizable character in the Need for Speed franchise. So it's really awesome that you've just come out of not really hiding, but you've just kind of come out and embraced the community. And we are all really excited.
Honestly, it wasn't on purpose. It's I'm an actor, and so when I do a character and it's done, I leave it behind and I'm on to the next thing. Like EA games, I mean, they put a game together, it drops. There's already a team working on the next one. So I mean, for me, it wasn't that I was ignoring the community. I just had no idea whatsoever that there was this kind of interest. Literally, I was ignorant to all of this. I stopped playing video games when my son started beating the crap out of me before they could basically talk, so I just, so again, it's just, I wasn't trying to slight the gamer community. I wasn't trying to ignore you guys. I just really didn't know that you guys were out there and you guys were actually still holding on to this game, because I mean, just even today, people are saying that Need for Speed Most Wanted is like the best of the franchise. That's a lot to carry. So, I just owe it all to Habib Zagrapour. He is the mad genius behind the design of that first game that I was in. I mean, the director directed us, and David Footman came up with a key scratching thing, but Habib Zagrapour, he is, I mean, this guy's worked for everyone. I mean, he did the visual effects for Blade Runner 2049, for Ready Gamer 1, and that's nothing compared to all the stuff. This guy's worked at Industrial Light and Magic. He's worked Skywalker Ranch. He's a friend of mine, and I am grateful every day for his friendship. So he created what I'd call the father of the modern day green screen motion capture display that you see in every single game, even on television and movies. That's him. So,
and especially right behind me, right here.
Yeah, you've got a green screen there.
Yeah,
green screen there. So, at least there's not anyone there sitting there telling you, okay, duck your head down to get into this car because a Corvette is only this high, so you got to really scooch in there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So
that's just awesome. I mean, even I remember the older Need for Speed games, they came bundled with a behind the scenes kind of movie showcasing the behind the scenes and how the green screen effects were done and the acting and everything. So even for something like 2005, it's really interesting to see that back in time and then compare it to today, how much technology has evolved.
Well, yeah, I mean, you having a green screen right there is just testament to that, because back in 2005, the only guys that could do that were the companies with big deep pockets and you need a whole bank of computers to do it. But now you can, it's kind of like today you can shoot a feature-length film HD quality with a DSLR in your hand, and you can also do green screen. It's just, I'm blown away. I feel so old.
Yeah. But yeah, speaking about the community and how you were just kind of overwhelmed with the support from the community.
Yeah.
Yeah, the community, like, what is your overall like opinion about like the fans' response to just the Sergeant Cross character and like all of the fan feedback?
I'm 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 gobsmacked. I'm overwhelmed. I really did not know that Sergeant Cross was such a popular character. I honestly didn't know. I mean, for me, it was a character I left behind 13 years ago, and I've gone on to other projects and a whole bunch of things. I didn't know, but in the last, well, since Saturday, because Saturday was the first day that I got my Instagram up and running. I started to see it started to trickle in, and I'm reading these messages and posts, and I'm like, holy God! I mean, it's like, are they talking about me? That Sergeant Crumb? So I mean, even today, I mean, just some of the everything has been positive. I mean, honestly, I couldn't love a group of people more than I do the the fans, the gamers. I mean, I haven't seen other than one guy that Sergeant Croc is back, and you know what you can do. Um, Everybody else, and I mean everybody else, has been liking, following, and just. I mean, I spent the day today going talking back and forth with several of the gamers, and even one where we went into fatherly parental advice. So we were talking about handing down Need for Speed Most Wanted to his son,
Yeah.
and I said, well, I hope he does, and I hope he plays the hell out of it. So yeah, it's been really, really great. I from a personal standpoint, it's really made it's just it's made me really, really happy. From a personal standpoint, it's brightened my life right now. I mean, I can't thank these gamers enough for what they've given me, and they've given me a lot in the last few days, more than I could have ever asked for from anyone.
Yeah, it's really again, it's just a testament to like the community I've been part of for like how many years, just how passionate like just the gaming community in general is, and how like we all kind of like band together and like just support the people who like have been parts who have made the games we love, the reason that we love them, and just come and banding together and showing our support for them. And that's what I find just really awesome about not just the gaming community, but like the Need for Speed community in general. Like it's just amazing.
No argument. I mean, again, I'm just I'm still trying to process this. Uh, I mean, it's just wow. I just don't feel like I deserve this attention. It's. I mean, I loved doing the character. I mean, for me, playing the bad guy is a dream come true,
Hmm.
because bad guys have more fun. So the more mayhem I can sow, the more damage and destruction and chaos I can generate, oh, the happier I am. It's
Yeah.
so yeah, as a character, not in real life.
Yeah.
Uh,
To
so
make that distinction.
yeah, let's just clarify that so that I don't get a call from Homeland Security. So
um
yeah.
yeah, speaking of like production and playing the character, what was production like during the shoot for Need for Speed Carbon and Need for Speed Most Wanted?
It was just like another day on a set for me, except I was working with new technology, and everything was really specific, where we had to stand, where we had to sit, which way we walked, and because all the cars are, of course, you know, green screen, you know, made, so they're not
Yeah.
really there. We did have one vehicle there for our most wanted for whatever reason. I kind of I forget what, but it was there, but it wasn't my bet,
Hmm.
and uh, it, but it was we didn't have to wear those black suits with the golf balls that you always
Oh,
see,
yeah.
but they did have us in really, really heavy makeup. I mean, my eyebrows were like 10 times the size and so black. Literally, it's like they were like two black holes. I mean, and it just, but it was amazing just to see like a bank of computers and screens. Habib's behind them, and he's just doing this, and it's almost like he was a conductor, and he was just conducting every movement, every placement. It was so fun to do. That's why I actually agreed to a second one, because it was fun. And hey, as far as doing it again, in the past, I don't really like going back to characters that I've already done. It's kind of like, okay, well, I've been there, I've done that. Yawn. Unless I'm offered like a crap load of money. I mean, let's face it.
Yeah.
Only human. Every man
Yeah.
has his price. Would I do uh, um, Sergeant Cross or Bounty Hunter Cross again? And I'd say, yeah, but my caveat would be, I need to basically be down and dirty. Let's kick this up past PG and let me
Woo!
get seriously hostile.
Yeah. The recent
Because
Need for Speed games have swearing in them now, so
well, exactly. So I mean, I basically want to be like let's slip the dogs of war and
ooh.
and literally really give the gamers a reason to hate my guts. So
Yeah.
if you hated me before, be careful what you wish for, because
He's gonna more than
so
key your car.
oh, I'm already in the game figuring out just how nasty I'm gonna be. So yeah, it's I love this. I love all of this. I love the community. It's a unique community. I
Oh,
mean, other than
definitely.
to any other community, it's a unique community, and it's really real. These guys feel. I mean, they're passionate about
Yeah.
their gaming and their games, and you better not rehash stuff, and you better basically wow us. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's a demanding crew. So
Oh,
it's for
yeah.
me to be held in that kind of esteem with this kind of a demanding crew is, I'm honored. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Again, that's just like amazing. Like, I mean, the keying the car part you said earlier was like that wasn't script. That wasn't part of the script, was it? Like that was actually.
No, 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 it wasn't, because we were trying to figure out, like, and then on the fly, David said, "Hey, how about you key the car?" And I said, "Okay." And he said, "Well, just have at it. Do it. Just like do your thing." He didn't have it. He didn't tell me how to do it. He just said, "Just do it the way you would really want to do it." And so yeah, that was me in that moment, really enjoying the shit out of that that moment.
Yeah.
Hey, look, I'm only human. Okay. It wasn't personal. It was just, okay, it was a little personal.
I mean, from that
Which,
moment right on, like we hated your guts. We wanted to escape you.
oh
Right,
God,
right from that moment.
the funny thing is, back then when the game first came out, a little while after, there used to be video stores. You could go in and rent your videos and so
Mhm.
on and so forth. So I live not too far from this one store location, and I knew the guys in there, so I was always in there and renting movies or games, whatever. And then when I came in one day, my friend said, "Hey, this guy came into the store with the Need for Speed Most Wanted, and he was pissed. He was just talking shit about you. He ended with like, if I ever see that Sergeant Cross, I'll kick his bleep 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 all over the bleep 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 bleep." And I'm like, and so he starts laughing and he says, "Hey, you know what? If you wait around, he'll probably be in. He's always in here." And
Mhm.
the guy put the game down. He said he walked out. So I was used to it. I mean,
Yeah.
I was used to it. As a matter of fact, even a friend of mine that I never tell anybody that I work with and I do other things
Hmm.
that I do this. He found out some way, somehow, and he happens to have that same class year of BMW. And the
Oh.
minute he found out about it, he was he was sniping at me. This is my friend, and he's
Yeah.
now like dropping shit on me because I keyed this damn car. I mean, it's like I'm going, look, I didn't key your car. It was like, it doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
keyed the car. And I'm like, I'm never going to escape this.
I mean,
So
that car, the BMW M3 GTR, is like the poster child of like all race cars for like the Need for Speed community. So you scratching that is like scratching like like a holy icon. Like,
Uh, all I can say is good times.
yeah.
Good time.
Nice pinstripe. We got a free pinstripe out of it. So,
Hey, I mean, yeah, that was me. I mean, they that was the one thing about it too. They were very, very um, generous,
mhm.
and allowing us actors to basically ad lib or add, add things that we wanted to add, like
Yeah.
that scene where my partner throws you to the ground, and then I say cuff him, and
Mhm.
so I put in. It was my line. Oh, they're gonna love you in the big house.
Oh.
And so that was meant to elicit exactly that that hey, you're going to spend the next 5 years playing mommy and daddy with a 300-pound guy from. So yeah,
Oh.
I hope kids aren't going to be watching this. This is kind of
Nah.
getting a little.
Nah. My channel's pretty PG-13 plus,
Okay.
so you're good. You're good.
Okay, I mean, I wanted to go further in a lot of ways, but they were
Yeah.
going, I know we're PGing this, Dean. Just like,
Yeah.
no, this is like general.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely.
we make more money that way. Okay,
I know
so,
what you mean.
so
Especially with the
yeah,
state of YouTube right now, that's definitely the case. Um,
I, I mean, I can't keep up with any of it. I just don't even
yeah.
bother. That's why I guess I'm now coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, now
Yeah.
because you just didn't pay attention to it. But I appreciate it, and I think because of this, I'm going to hang around social media for a while.
And that's
So
awesome to hear. I bet the Need for Speed community is really gonna like enjoy your presence here, especially with you
yeah,
and Derek. And then, who knows, we might even see some people like Neville, even from Need for Speed Carbon. You remember him?
yes, I do. I mean,
Neville.
I traded messages with Razor today.
Ooh,
So we were just
nice,
talking about stuff. Yeah, so
awesome.
I thanked him for his influence in getting me to do this, and
Hmm.
he was pretty generous, and he told me to have a good time, and but I'm still hoping that I get to go up against him again. So we'll
Oh,
see.
that would be pretty awesome. Not gonna lie.
Well, that's what the gaming community is praying for, is a rematch between myself and Razor. So
Yeah.
hey, I'm down with it. I'm down.
All right. Speaking of the community, I actually went on Twitter, at my Twitter at CraptasticJack, and I actually asked if the community had any questions. This one comes from my man Charlie, and he asked, and we already kind of did cover this a little bit, but he also asked, what input did you have with the creative decisions surrounding your character in the car, like the Corvette?
Okay, well, the car and all that stuff that was above my pay grade.
Hmm.
But as I said, they really allowed us creative license with the character from um, the audition when I walked in. Habib, upon seeing me and seeing the audition in person, he said, "That's Sergeant Cross." He already knew after the first audition, but I went through a handful more because you have studio heads, you have to
Yeah.
see. There's a lot of money on the line. They got to make sure. Um, but I was free to do or create Sergeant Cross however way I wanted him to be, and so I went with a lot of the work is instinctive, and so you try not to bury yourself in the part, but you try to be as honest as you can
Yeah.
while you're performing, because it has to be believable, because that orb, it knows when you're lying,
Hmm.
and there's nothing worse than a bad performance or over baked ham in
Yeah.
front of the camera. So I mean, I tried to be as honest as I could while I was playing Sergeant Cross, and I guess I was successful, because 16 years later,
Yeah.
they're still. It's just weird to be called the face of a franchise.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to sit with that for a while. So
Yeah.
'cause it's just no. I mean, I'm honored, but it the character itself was fun to do, and
Hmm.
I'm really happy when I work with the director that just allows me to says, "Okay, go do your thing." Um, so
Yeah.
it was
And
fun.
I think, in my opinion, I think the opinions of a lot of others, you pulled off the character spectacularly. Like, envision like your worst enemy as a street racer, as a criminal yourself, and envisioning that person coming after you and never leaving you alone, and like you pulled that off so well. Like,
Well, that was the
yeah,
intent.
yeah.
Intent was literally my intent when I started to develop the character was how do I piss these guys off? Well, what do they love more than anything else in their life is their cars. They put a crap load of aftermarket parts in it, the wheels, the dashboard, everything gets ripped out and put back in. So my job was to aggravate and piss you off and harass you and make you literally want to lose your nut when you're playing it. So
Yeah.
so yeah, that I yeah. Well, I'm happy I was able to bring it off, you know. But it was
Uh,
fun pissing off an entire generation of gamers.
oh yeah, definitely.
You know, and so now the anonymity that I had with it is kind of like blown out the door now because now, you know, I'm kind of hoping that I don't walk down the street and I got some guy comes up to me and punches me in the face and goes, "That's for my childhood." And, you know, so yeah.
That's for
So
keying my
thank you,
car.
gamers, for outing me. So if I show up with a swollen eye and teeth missing, it's on you guys. So,
Well, that's for keying
so
our cars.
I'm not going to apologize. I will never apologize for keying your car. Just saying that if I get a chance to do this again, you're going to hope that all I do this time is key your car again.
Ooh.
And let's just leave it at that for now.
Oh man. I got another question from Turbocharged. He asks, "What do you think of the Cross character overall?" Like, I know we kind of touched base on this already, but just kind of like your overall thoughts on the character, looking back at it 16 years later.
Uh, it was just another role for me. I mean, I take my work very seriously, and it was just another role, and I played it to the very best of my ability because it was an opportunity for me to, you know, just do something different. And that's the thing that we like as actors. We really want to do different things. Like, you don't want to play a cop 3 or 4 times on 3 or 4 different shows. You know, you want to play, you know, a priest. You want to play, you know, a lawyer. You want to play, you know, a dad struggling to save his family. All kinds of stuff. It's that diversity that basically, you know, enriches everything. But the Cross character was one of the first times I got to play a cop from that vantage point where, I mean, technically I'm breaking the law. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not really allowed to do what I was doing, but, you know, it felt good having the proverbial handcuffs off and I could do whatever I want to these racers. So the character itself was really, I mean, it was really fun to do. And being honest, yeah, I really would do it again. I mean, I'd love to come back and do it again. It was fun the first time. Who knows?
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. I like just seeing, like, coming to it from like an actor's standpoint. Like, there are some actors who are known for just doing cop roles and some who are just known for doing one set of role. But I think like the best are like the ones who are known to do like everything and go out of their comfort zone. And
Yeah.
yeah. And just like,
Yeah, I mean,
seeing that.
that's what we like as actors. I will not be typecast. I refuse to, and yeah, I've turned down roles before because, well, I've already done that. I've done that. I've done that. Like, no, because once you get typecast, once that happens, that is it. They don't see you as anything else. You are. Even if you do a performance of a lifetime, Oscar-worthy in a casting session, somebody's sitting there going, nah, I still see him as a cop. You know,
yeah.
Make a great priest. Nah, I see him as a cop. So you really don't want to do that. So once you play that role, you put that role on the shelf. It was good, fun times, move on.
I want every single unit after the guy.
Everyone?
Everyone?
everyone. I'm not doing it. I'm not.
Almost
Yeah,
got
I
him.
know. I
Almost got
know.
him.
Everybody's trying to get me to do that. I'm not gonna. I didn't. Funny story. I really didn't want to do that
Yeah.
when we shot it, because hey, look, I saw The Professional.
Hmm.
I saw Gary Oldman's performance, but this is Habib. This was Habib's idea, and the jokester that he is, and he has a twisted sense of humor. So I'm going, Habib, I can't do this. Look, it's just going to look like I'm plagiarizing this. He said, no, just do it. It's like, and I was doing it different ways. I wouldn't take it to that crescendo, and he just over and over and over. I must have done it 20 times before I finally just went, fuck it, and went, everyone. So I was really, really, really not wanting to do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just judging from the performance, it looked like it came naturally. Like that's what I'll say. It looked
Yeah.
like very
Well,
natural.
you try having somebody harass you to within an inch of your life to do something, and you finally get so frustrated you do it. That was me on that day, and now I've been stuck with it. I saw many years ago, just after I did it, somebody showed it to me where there's me doing everyone, and then there's Gary Oldman, and they put them side by side, and I'm thinking, this is exactly what I was talking about. So yeah, I've seen it. I didn't take it personally, gamers, but it wasn't me. I didn't want to do that. Okay,
Hmm.
so
Yeah.
there you go.
I mean, I guess the frustration really kind of helped play that scene because, like, that ending scene just felt so good. Like, having this person been pissing us off the entire game and finally maybe giving a little bit of payback as we escape, make our run for the hills. Like, it just made the
Yeah.
game.
It did. It actually, everything works out the way it's supposed to work out, and
Yeah.
and game itself, I think it really stands the test of time. It's a game that everybody still wants to fall back on. I mean, I tried to find a copy of it for a new platform. I just figured,
Mhm.
oh, what the hell? I'll just play it,
Yeah.
for old time's sake. And I found Carbon, but I couldn't find Need for Speed. Now I think they've redone it. They've released it on the new platforms, or am I wrong?
No.
So they
There's a
haven't sent out remastered.
there's a big push in the community for a remastered copy, but there hasn't been one since. Like they haven't made one.
Uh,
There's a lot of like licensing issues with all the different car brands. There are some car brands, especially Toyota. They don't really like their cars in illegal street racing games anymore, and there are Toyotas in that game, so they're having that's probably like the biggest issue.
Really? That's wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's their vehicles. I
Hmm.
mean, they have the right
True.
to do whatever they want. But it's
Oh
like
yeah.
it's funny. It's just like what was it? When the first James Bond movie was coming out, uh, the producers Broccoli and Cubby, they went to Aston Martin to ask for kind of a sponsorship, get a
Yeah.
vehicle, and whoever was in charge at the time said no.
Oh. Wow.
Well, after, of course, Her Majesty's Secret Service went through the stratosphere. They were banging on the door to get their car on the set. So I'd say they'll regret it at some point.
Yeah.
They'll regret that move.
Hmm.
There are a lot of guys that are gamers that drive cars,
Yep.
and if they find out, who
Hmm.
knows? So it's hey, above my pay grade. I'm just an actor.
Yeah. And just like speaking about cars and Need for Speed, the whole reason I'm into cars is because of games like Need for Speed Most Wanted and everything. Now, I'm not going out there evading cops in real life, but like just the reason I drive a stick shift and everything, just the reason I'm into cars is because of games like that. And again, like you said, that game has really stood the test of time. I never got to play that game when it was in its prime. I was only 5 years old, so when it came out, so
Ah,
I never really got to play it
well,
in its
shit. I
prime.
feel old.
That wasn't my intention, but but yeah, just going back to like games like that have stood the test of time, playing those games with my dad, like it really just kind of shows that like games like this really touch the lives of like millions of people, especially Need for Speed Most Wanted. That game has definitely touched and changed the lives of many people.
I'm just wow. I mean, I don't. I'm going to get in touch with Habib later on tonight
Yeah.
and tell him. I mean, he'll probably watch. He's going to be dying to watch this.
Yeah.
But he is really, really proud of that.
Hmm.
That I think we all are. I mean, all these years later, I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Not just because it's still so popular, but because it was really fun to do something that was groundbreaking that nobody else had done, and I think we did it well. So, I mean, you know,
Yeah. Oh, very well
you know,
deserved pat on the back. A very well
it just,
deserved.
I mean, hey, the game's not the game, and it doesn't stand the test of time without the gamers, because the gamers drive, of course, the game. And so, I am humbled by all of this. I really am. It's kind of freaky, but it's yeah. I've been doing this work for a long, long, long time, and this is the first time anything like this has ever happened in my career. I've worked with Oscar winners. I mean, I've worked with A-list directors, but
Yeah.
nothing like this. It's just crazy. So
Yeah. I mean, again, we're just humbled, especially me, that you're just taking the time out of your day to even talk to us and everything. Like, it's insane to think that like the person we were running from all these years, we're just talking face to face now. You know?
well, again, in my defense, I really didn't know. I mean, I really
Yeah.
didn't understand the the uh, the the love for the game.
Yeah.
How big a part of the modern gamers that's been around for a while or not, how
Yeah.
much it meant to them. I didn't know. I mean, it's not like I get an email saying, "Hey, Dean, you really need to get on social media and you need to speak to the fans because they really want to hear from you because it's still blowing up." And it's kind of like, well, no. I mean, yes, you're
Yeah.
busy with other things. Your life goes on. And but now that I've opened up this box and I've been introduced to this world, because I technically really don't do social media. I don't.
Yeah.
Um, I'm a very private person, so I kind of like my anonymity.
Yeah.
But uh, this has been a revelation. And I'll hang with. After they look at all this stuff, they might say, "Hey, look, we got to revisit this and make a new one." From where it would be nice if they made a new one from where it was left off. All these years
Yeah.
later, maybe I've been reinstated. Maybe I've got special powers to basically chase people across state lines. Maybe I get a
Yeah.
chance to shoot at people. I mean,
Ooh.
who knows? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I think it's a high time they introduce,
Yeah.
a little bit more, hostility.
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Definitely.
know,
That's
hey,
definitely
look,
possible.
it's 2019. When we did it, it's like the early year. Oh yeah, there was a little bit of, we have to, tone it down, and it's a
Yeah.
game for kids. But today, the average age is what?
In mid-20s, 80, like teenagers, so yeah.
So yeah, so anything that Need for Speed comes up with isn't going to shock anybody. If anything, they're going to go, "Is that it?" so, so yeah,
Yeah.
so.
What projects have you been in since the Need for Speed games? Like what other like shows, movies have you been doing?
Oh God, honestly, all I can tell people to do is go to the International Movie Database,
Yeah.
IMDb, punch in my name, Dean Mckenzie, and you'll see. Wow, I was on Arrow last season for a few episodes. I was
Ooh.
in the movie Shooter with Mark Wahlberg.
Ooh.
I was the guy, the poor bastard that they shot.
Oh.
From
Hmm.
I have I did an episode of Rogue. I've been doing like just numerous projects over the past
Yeah.
few years. I mean, it's just like, again, for me, there's things that I look at my resume when I'm every so often I have to print it up, and I'm like,
Hmm.
I did that, and I can't remember being on it. I can't remember doing it because I honestly scrub it from my memory.
Oh.
It was a job. It was done. I'm not going to belabor it and try and make it something more than it wasn't. I'm just going to be grateful for that time, that moment, that work, and then time to find something else. So I sometimes forget what I've done. So again, this is like being smacked in the back of the head and said, "Wake up," So yeah.
Yeah, just because like I'm a TV film major, I'm really into this type of stuff. Um, like have there been times when you've shot a project and then you've never actually like seen it when it came out? You just kind of forgot about it before it even came out?
Yeah. I really honestly do not like watching myself. Um,
Yeah, that's kind of something like a creator's like thing.
yeah.
Like,
Well, the danger is that you start to Monday morning quarterback your performance.
yeah.
And I think as an actor, when you're doing a performance and you do several takes, the take that you think is the crappiest take is usually the take that the director likes.
Yeah.
And then and at the end of it, I mean, you really have to it takes time to learn to be secure in yourself as an actor, as a person, so that you do your job. If everybody says it's okay, and you move on and you don't try and, I've seen actors just like the director says, that's great, that's fantastic. And they want to do another take and they want to do another take and trying to make it all about them. And they have to understand that some productions are like hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. They don't have time for an actor trying to
Yeah.
be a pain in the posterior. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's I don't watch myself. I've put a reel together that I'll probably put on my IMDb page because I'm always updating the reels. But
Yeah.
um, I have somebody actually who finds my roles, finds the work that I've done, and then I say which is what I want, and then he puts it together. He sends it to me. I send it on to my agent, and it goes from there. I don't have to actively pull
Yeah.
because I'd lose my mind. I have no interest. It'd never get done. I just have no interest in it
Yeah.
because it's like, I look at work that I've done back then, and I think with the exception of Cross, I look at my work back then and think, man, did I suck. And I think I say that about everything except for Cross. It was it was so easy to do. And I really enjoyed it. I just loved doing the character. So
Definitely about like the Monday quarterback thing. Like I'm a radio DJ, so like listening to myself after I've recorded something, like I'm always like, oh, like did I sound this bad on air? So like, so it's definitely something I could definitely understand. And like looking back at like just as a YouTuber, looking back at your older videos and going, wow, those were bad. Why did anyone like them? So like,
but that's the thing. You can't do that to yourself because you drive yourself
yeah,
nuts. Because as you move forward, you'll be going, okay, is this good? Is that good? Is this good? You can't do that. You put your best foot forward. You perform. You do what feels right in an organic sense, and you move on. Because if you don't, you're going to go, I'm sorry, batshit crazy. It's just,
yeah,
you do the best that you can do, and either they're going to like it, love it, or they're not.
hmm,
And you can't control that. You just can't.
yeah,
Why is it some people like Beethoven and others like Mozart? I mean, it's the same. It's still a movement. They share certain characteristics, but it's just that way. Prefer Mozart to Beethoven. So I mean, you can't control that. As an artist and as a future filmmaker, you do the very, very best that you can.
hmm,
You give people everything that you can, and you go from there. If they like it, they'll like it. If they don't, you know, joke them if they can't take a fuck.
definitely. And then speaking of that, since we're kind of on the topic, do you have any tips for anyone in the TV film industry or like in college for TV film or wanting to get into like acting or something of that sorts?
Um, okay, let's start with making film and motion pictures and TV shows. Um, the creative process is an amazingly unique thing to each person.
Hmm.
And if it's something that's burning inside of you, that you're the type of person that after you finish doing something all day, you're picking up a camera and you're taking pictures here or there, or you've got your parents' old video camera, and you're making little stills, or you're doing something in the basement where you're doing scenes with the guys, and you're playing cards, and somebody gets shot, and you're just doing all kinds of stuff. Go after it, because there are many stories about guys that basically just took a DSLR and basically the next thing you know, they're now, they're doing A-list movies. It's something that you have to just love. That it's as part of you as your left hand. And if it's really what you want to do as an artist who basically went through a lot with my parents, not liking my life choice to become an actor, I say absolutely go for it, because life is short. And the thing here is, there are a lot of people that are slowly dying in a cubicle somewhere in a job that they hate, so they can pay a mortgage and they can make their car payments. And then they're going to someday pass from this mortal coil, and all that's going to be left of them is a few dollars that they're going to give leave behind for their kids, but they weren't fulfilled. Life is about taking chances. Life is about going out there and reaching for the impossible. And when people say, no, you can't do it, you fight harder, because you have to have it. And the heart wants what the heart wants. Now, an actor, as I said earlier in another interview, anybody can act, but not everybody can. And you have to want to be an actor for a right reason. And you have to really, really want to do this and love the craft, because it will bring you to heights of euphoria that you've never experienced before. And in the same day, it will crush you and leave you lying on the ground, bleeding and battered in ways that you've never thought possible. But if it's something that you want to do, it's like, for me, the first time I ever got on a film, and was time for me to do my scene.
Tonight, in partnership with the Vancouver Opera, BPL is pleased to present Opera Suite Class. It's very relevant.
Hey, I thought it was a library.
Yeah, I'm next to the Opera House. Being an actor is a lifetime pursuit. It's like practicing medicine. That's why they call it practicing medicine, because you're never perfect at it. You're always trying to improve. You have to really love this craft. I mean, you have to love it, because it will bring you to heights of euphoria that you never experienced. And in the next instant, nano instant, you are crushed and battered and lying bleeding on a dirty floor, wondering how the hell that happened. It can break you. I mean, it can really crush your soul. I mean, I joke all the time. I say I've been told no more than anybody else I've ever met. Every time I go into an audition room, it's a 50-50, either they like you or they don't. And if they like you and they shortlist you, there could be that you're not going to work with the lead that they've already hired, or it's just not going to work out with the look and the feel. It's a beautiful craft, but again, you have got to be doing it for the right reason. If you're looking for fame, forget it, because fame is nothing. It's not really real. It's just this thing that happens for a brief period of time, and then you're forgotten as quickly as you were celebrated. It always has to be about the work. It always has to be about trying to improve upon what you just did before in another project. It's like I said again earlier, Kevin Hart has a saying, everybody wants to be famous, but nobody wants to do the work. And it takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of dedication. And so you have to be really selfish about your time and about the time that you put into the craft, because you are not going to have time to change diapers and then run from audition to audition. You know, last I heard, diapers cost a lot. So it's like you really need to figure this out before you start making a decision that could affect negatively the closest people that you love in your life. But that said, don't let anything stand in your fucking way. If you want this, come get it, because ain't nobody gonna come looking for you or discover you. It don't work that way. If you want this shit, come get it. That's simple.
Awesome. Very inspiring words from Mr. Dean here. Again, thank you again so much for doing this interview. I know we'll all definitely appreciate it. Like the fans will all appreciate it. And again, I can't wait to see you more on social media. I can't wait to see the community embrace you more as these interviews come out. And again, it was an honor speaking with you, Sergeant.
Oh, come on. Stop it. Stop it. Look, you know, this is like, again, I'm being tiresome with this, but I want to just say to the gamers out there in the gaming community, thank you. I don't feel I deserve this. I'm really truly humbled by this. And if I ever get a chance to reprise the role, I'll give you something you never dreamt of. So thank you for keeping Cross and Razor alive. We both appreciate it. I know Derek does. I know he does deeply. So
thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Have a good one, guys.